Hi, I'm Jason Skoby, the creator and director of GHOSTBUSTIN 911.
And I'm Cory Deveney. I'm editor and co-producer of GHOSTBUSTIN 911.
And we're going to do director's commentaries for episodes 4, so sit back and enjoy.
Well, we're here yet again to try to...
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce a local actress in this scene who you saw in trailer number 2.
That was the first time we used her.
When we wanted to do a little bit of more cinematic style like promo for Ghostbusters 911.
Like a horror movie trailer.
Yeah, so we picked a local Scream Queen actress who was really good.
Oh, Scarlett Salem.
But our show was definitely different for her. She's never done this kind of ad-libbing, and you know, she usually relied on scripts.
Right. And let's go over some of the titles of her line of work here. Strip Club Slasher, Slumber Party Massacre.
A lot of B movies. And this is a B show, but it's not B show.
Right. And she's like a huge horror movie fan. She loves, like, you know, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and everything. So she does a lot of like those B horror movies and everything. And you know, she's got a lot more coming up. But this was like a stretch for her. And, you know, she finally got to stretch her acting muscles here.
Yeah, and it turns out she's a great actress.
Right.
You know, the first time I worked with her was when we did that promo where she was being chased by a ghost. And that blew my mind. I was very amazed at that, but that was very scripted.
Right.
And when we brought her on to do a fake reality scene, I mean, granted, we did 12 takes of this scene. It took us a while.
Yeah.
But as soon as she got the flow, next thing you know, she's ad-libbing and we're playing off each other, and it works perfectly, and it seems really natural. You'll see in upcoming scenes with her character that she's nailed it. She knows how to ad-lib and not have to rely on the script so closely.
Right. And she's actually living here in Kenny's old apartment. And also the other girl from that trailer makes her debut in this episode too, Nikki Crew.
Yeah, she was the ghost.
Almost called her Nikki Homicide.
That's an old name.
Her old
Matter of
stage
fact,
name.
Scarlett Salem is no longer Scarlett Salem. She's turned her name back to Sarah French.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes to show you how old these productions are.
Right, yeah.
If I had a pile of money and didn't have to go to school or didn't have to work, then we would have 12 episodes of Ghostbusters 911 done in a month.
I just realized something. You're about to actually see that trailer that we shot because we used it as Becky's explanation and as a reenactment.
I wanted to reuse that. Oh, and by the way, Ernie Hudson's in this one.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Now,
Oh, look at gas price.
Oh God.
$1.93 once again, showing how old this is.
Right after Jason pulled his car down, there you see that cop following him. Right after he got out of the shot, that cop pulled him over.
Yeah, you tend to get pulled over a lot in a Ghostbusters.
And it was just to say, your car is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't getting a citation or anything. It was just, cool car.
And this is the camera work of Dave Underhill, the lighting genius, who we severely underutilized.
I loved his work, his camera work in this, and his lighting.
Although this is the first shot in the whole series where the cameraman was a midget.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at how low all these shots are.
But that's what I liked about it. It was
because now we could actually see the roof of this firehouse. It's
exactly
really tall.
It opened it up so much. It's a different angle than you typically see in a reality show, while still feeling like a reality show.
Yep. Oh, and Calissa Brown. This was the first time we ever worked with her. Was this shot, this scene?
Right. And actually, this is a reshoot.
She didn't have any previous acting experience. So we kind of gave her a shot because none of us had previous acting experience either. Who are we to judge?
Right.
And it turns out she's amazing.
This whole meeting scene was shot. We did 2 separate full-day shoots at this firehouse. And we kind of talked about the character, the Beverly Hills Ghostbuster, kind of like the Legally Blonde, Reese Witherspoon kind of character, who actually is smarter than any of the guys there. and it just didn't work out. It just wasn't feeling right for us. Unfortunately, the actress that came in did a great job, but she hit the cutting room floor.
Yep.
And we reworked the Beverly Hills Ghostbuster character as Rebecca Forrester, as Scarlett Salem's character in here.
So it's not really Beverly Hills. She's more Minnesotan.
Right.
She's got that accent too, you betcha.
And this whole thing was a reshoot, so you and Calissa got to do that scene once before.
Yeah.
And she did awesome the first time, but she knocked it out of the park this time because she got to kind of rehearse that first time. And all the lines were very, it was pretty much the same lines.
You caused a 1 kiloton nuclear explosion. And by the way, you got to watch video blog. Was it 7 outtakes or 8?
7 is outtakes.
7. You got to see blog 7 where you can see some of our screw ups while we're shooting this. It's quite hilarious. This was a joke that kind of got lost when we were writing this scene. We originally wanted her to be in a few different outfits, and we're like, well, how the heck would she come up with an outfit that was tailored to her?
Right.
Because we had a costume that was sized to her specifically. And so we're like, well, let's make the character a fashion designer. And she just whipped this thing out of thin air.
It's like she's going to school for fashion design.
That joke was just so lost, but we had shot enough of it where we had to leave some of it in here.
Right.
And this is at CTV Studios, where our show is based.
Yeah, this is where we actually... The show is actually a cable access
He's wearing an
show.
Obama shirt. That's illegal in the election.
And now this demon effect was done by a friend of ours named Sal, and he's in a what is it? After Effects. He's an After Effects whiz.
Yeah. We're gonna do some more of those types of effects in upcoming episodes.
The face morphing effects.
We make people look like demons.
Can of Monster. What else would Ghostbusters drink? Monster.
A can of Monster.
Now this whole section of that firehouse was, all that plastic was up there. We added those caution hard hat areas because it just didn't look right, so we thought, well, maybe that part is under construction.
Yeah.
And here's how us shooting this and stockpiling all these scenes, and then later when we put the episodes together, figuring out how they fit together, and just by a stroke of luck they work, we thought maybe that's why it's under construction, because Ron blew a hole in the ceiling.
Yep. And then it would give us the chance to do a callback to a previous scene and break up the action.
Right.
Because if you're watching this scene from beginning to end, it's supposed to be reality, but it's really boring.
And there she is in the tailor-made, the suit that didn't a relative?
No, it I don't even remember where she got that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Where am I gonna sit?
But actually, that part that has the plastic on it,
What are you guys talking about?
that's the wood shop.
Oh, right,
The owners of this property, there's no heat in there.
There's
And
table
so
saws and everything.
They had put up this plastic to put a heater in there so they could do woodworking throughout the winter. And we weren't allowed to take that down because they were still using it. So we had to somehow avoid camera shots of that for most of the Firehouse shoot
Right.
until now when we explained what it was. It was, from a proton pack explosion.
I was
Right.
just getting ready to go out for the
And this was where we were able to insert our trailer number 2.
Right.
I wanted to show that again.
We
So
really
just
wanted
called
to use
a
it somewhere.
reenactment.
got out.
And oddly,
myself off
what we should have done was replaced her with somebody else.
That's true,
Because
right?
reenactments are not the same person.
Right.
Somebody who doesn't look anything like her would have been hilarious. But I don't want to replace Nikki.
Behold, there's
Right.
a big freaking freaky ghost behind me.
Nikki Crew is the ghost that's chasing her.
Yeah.
And I did the makeup for that scene. We got this appliance that goes over your eyes. Looks like her eyes were torn out. So, again, this was kind of with those, like you talked about the hitchhiker scene in the beginning, those urban legends and everything. This is kind of like the urban legend, the ring-like girl chasing after a girl, and she like tries to call for help, but nobody can help her, and then she gets the idea, well, hey, let's call the Ghostbusters.
I was so pissed off. And
The way
Yeah,
we
and
work.
one of the things you have to notice too is that in every horror movie, the pretty blonde girl somehow cannot stay on her feet. So we had her falling over on her butt over and over again.
And she always gets out of the shower, but is somehow dry and always has makeup on.
And then
Now-
there's a Ghostbusters magnet on her fridge. Like, oh, duh.
Yeah, dude.
Why'd I call 911?
So, we really wanted to work this in the show somehow because we loved how it turned out, but it broke the reality TV show style. And we've fought with that a few times. Like, Ryan has come up with an idea, like, so
Like
in
a
this
dream
scene,
sequence.
yeah, in this scene, Ron has a dream sequence, and we're like,
I'm sorry,
what?
we cannot do dream sequences in a reality show.
Right, and he's like, oh, right. Well, how about we do a flashback? And I'm like, reality show? All right.
Flashback. The only way we can insert anything is to call it a reenactment.
Yep. So that's how we thought we wanted to use this, but we were like, well, how do we use it? We thought, bingo, reenactment.
Yep, and even calling it a reenactment is still borderline not realistic, but
Right.
it was close enough where nobody noticed it.
It kind of reminds me of like Unsolved Mysteries at
Yeah.
that part, or like Rescue 911
Yep.
with William Shatner, where they do a reenactment of what they're describing. Yeah,
And
no,
all
she's
of this
using her feminine wiles.
Unzipping thing, none of that was written in the script.
And the funny thing is, she's
She
wearing a
was throwing
T-shirt that
this-
goes up to her neck.
Yeah. She's throwing all this out there herself. That was not my idea.
Right.
And by the way, we're at Taco John's, but we call it Taco Time.
Yep. Yet another Taco Time stand-in restaurant. Drunken
the
Jim.
Introduction of Drunken Jim.
Let me tell you
this
the
guy's
legend of
character
Drunken Jim.
is not that far off of his real life character. In real life, he is a drunk.
And
he's
now there's the
almost
ghost
as
girl.
crazy.
Why this station? Why this station?
Now she has eyes. She's got her eyes back.
Wake up!
I wanted this guy in our show somehow. Just
Right.
a goof off, drunken Ghostbuster that doesn't do anything but drink all the time. And that the only reason why he's there is because he's the mayor's nephew.
Right. We
wanted
figured,
a
a
job.
reality show, why would they keep this guy around?
Yeah.
And it's because Vincent's stuck between a rock and a hard place because it's the mayor's nephew. He can't fire him.
And that bottle, he was actually drinking
That is
vodka.
Vodka, yeah.
He was chugging it like it was water. And we did 3 takes. So that bottle was gone at that take.
And so was he.
Oh God, you got my email.
And here's a little snitch, Tyler Martin.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, Tyler is the by-the-book character. When we came up with our different characters and what their background is, what they're like, Tyler's the seasoned vet. He's the company floater, so he's been around forever. He's the most seasoned veteran of the Ghostbusters here, but and so he's by the book. The rest of the guys are kind of lazy slough-offs, so he's scared for his life here. A proton pack exploded. He was possessed. Right.
He's scared for his life. But he's just a whiny.
And that was
villain.
our secretary. She was really underutilized here.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Dawn was her name. Met her at Convergence. She was dressed as Flo. Looked exactly like Flo
Right,
from the
from-
Progressive commercials.
Yep. Ron.
But we had to put a lot of that on the cutting room floor because there just wasn't enough time for it.
Right.
And the joke just kind of got lost. She overhears Tyler complaining about the guys, and she's like, what the bleep? And so she radios ahead down to the basement bed.
What made the cutting room floor was she actually came in and yelled at Tyler for snitching on everybody, and Tyler went,
Yeah.
"Hey, I don't want to die. I don't know about you, but."
Operations control. Here for your surprise inspection.
Now, let's talk about some of the other characters in the show. Like the character of Ron.
Why we call this a
He's obviously the Egon character, but we wanted a different approach than just the typical egghead you always see. We wanted Ron is an egghead who thinks he's not an egghead.
Yeah. He
Ron-
thinks he's a street smart, tough guy.
He wants the
that
guys
has
to
an
call
IQ
him
of 160.
right. He wants the guys to call him Rico, like a tough street name, and they all just laugh at him, going, "No, you're Ron, dude. That doesn't fit."
Rico doesn't fit a pale-faced, red-haired.
He's a nerd who will kick your butt if you try calling him a nerd just
Right.
once, And
Discontinued for
Kenny's character, Strong, he's the...
He is the tough guy.
Yeah, he is the tough guy. He's the muscle of the group, you know. He's also the laziest one. You know, he thinks having seniority, you know, he's been there for 2 weeks and he should have seniority. Like in the first episode, he gets mad when Vince challenges that. And he's like, what? I should be able to do whatever I want. What, you've been here 2 weeks. Screw you.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's fine.
I just love his look, man.
And I would say your character is the boss that tries to maintain order but wants to be everyone's buddy too.
Yeah. But
You know.
he just comes off as a PO'd
How do you not
MO.
know this?
You know.
He's a, you know, he's
I
a
mean, seriously, look at
supervisor.
this crew that he has to deal with. Come on, if anybody would be that pissed all the
Right.
time.
Now, especially in this scene, you know, you're the supervisor. When we see you, you're doing checks on the containment unit, but you're listening to heavy metal music.
While everybody else
While
is
everyone,
drinking.
exactly. So when they come down, you're almost like the parent that tries to be the buddy with the kids.
Yep.
You know, you still try to be the authority figure, but you can't be somebody's friend and authority figure at the same time. So Vincent seems to kind of struggle with that constantly.
Pizza boxes. Yep.
And here he's getting busted for being too nice with the guys and lenient. You know, slime in the fridge, along with empty beers.
I didn't even know how you boys were still alive. This facility.
Why would there be slime in the fridge?
I don't know. Snack.
Although Ron was probably trying to cool some down.
He
for
does
his
make beer out of it. Yeah.
Ron's character likes to use ectoplasm for a variety of things. He's infused it with an algae mash to create this super powerful concoction of beer. And,
Slime beer.
yeah,
Ghost drink.
ghost drink. Ectoplasm orgasm.
And Meat's character, obviously he's the rookie. One of the characters we kind of cited was like Trey Parker and Matt Stone's movie Basketball. Actually, it's a Zucker movie, Basketball.
He's just like that little guy.
Yeah, Dion Bashar. Actor Dion Bashar plays Squeak Scolari. And he's just the little shrimp that the guys just pick on all the time,
Yep.
you know, relentlessly. That was where we were going with Meat. And Pat is kind of evolving it a little bit where a rookie who kind of comes into his own with the guys.
Yep.
But he still gets picked on, you know.
Well, notice once again, Ghostbusters do not have a microwave.
Right.
Ron.
So I guess Kenny improvises with the microwave popcorn here. And we just needed that one last push, that straw that breaks the camel's back, that Veronica Tully she's going to cut the guys some slack, and then that one last little
All of a
thing.
sudden,
It's like,
trap
oh,
being used for popcorn.
you guys. And that was a local filmmaker. She's an actress and a filmmaker and a model, and she does a lot of everything.
Jack of all trades.
Nikki Crew, yeah.
Oh, and I just want to put this out there so that everybody knows she owes me a Batmobile.
That's true. That's Jason's next project he wants to build.
Build the Michael Keaton Batmobile sometimes.
Yep. Eventually he's going to go through all the movie cars. He'll do a kit and a General Lee. Oh, that bus that we were shooting the back of, that was Ian of Drinking with Ian. That was actually an episode of Drinking with Ian where they asked us to kind of do a cameo as our characters. And they shot an episode on a roaming bus, actually.
The Drinking with Ian show, just think of it as a public access version of Conan O'Brien involving booze.
Right,
And so they did one of their episodes aboard an old city bus.
right.
And they wanted to break up the action by having the Ghostbusters pull the bus over.
And bust a ghost out of the
we
back.
Bust a ghost in the engine compartment, and one of the characters gets shredded and blood explosions.
I think it was Ron that got pulled into the engine, yeah. So the other two just kind of leave, like, let's get out of here.
And I have a few important announcements.
And they actually brought a
Hey, check it
band
out.
on the back
It's
of
a
that bus.
microwave box.
Hey.
No, it's better than a new microwave.
So they think they're getting a microwave.
Horrible failure.
Covered in duct tape.
This was kind of a scene where it fit after the tech inspection you just saw. Veronica pulls some strings to get the guys finally some new equipment. And now this is Jason's PKE meter based off of the real Ghostbusters PKE cartoon meter.
It's not finished yet, but it actually works.
Yep.
Has a night vision camera and an electromagnetic field detector that's attached to a solenoid that allows the antennas to swing out the closer to a field you get. And built-in recharging battery pack and so on and so forth.
Hence the size, because it's got to house all that stuff.
I know. I don't have a giant manufacturing facility to build compact circuit boards, so everything has to be done by hand.
Right. These were traps we got off of eBay that Jason painted and modified.
Toy traps everybody recognizes.
Yep. And Jason added all the electronics in there for the lights to work and blink and everything.
That thing is amazing. Ghosts hardly ever escape.
Ghosts hardly ever escape.
This is the big thing. We wanted to finally introduce the name tags.
Yep.
Guys having their own name tags. And address that we were using
Factory rejected hand-me-downs.
from corporate. And that's why they were misspelled Spangler and Stans and stuff.
Sorry, sometimes when I watch these episodes, things just pop out at me and I laugh.
It's mostly Ryan for me. It's just something he said. So in order to make this joke work, that's why we put the first initial of the guys' names, because we wanted them to have a prank played on Fresh Meat where he gets F Meat. And this joke too, where the guys don't know what C stands for in Strong's first name. And he's such a tough guy. His name is actually Copernicus, but he doesn't want to let them know that because he's got this tough facade he got to keep up. Poor O'Brien still didn't get his.
It was supposed to be here about 3 hours ago. Oh, yeah, that dude owes me $80. All right, give the guy a break. He's a recovering alcoholic. He drinks every freaking day.
Right behind that whiteboard there is Jason's laundry room.
Take Armstrong, go pick him up. I'm going to have a word.
Yeah, dude, let's go get it.
All right.
We have to get you, he's got to get you.
All right, let's go get Jim.
This is back at that realtor's office.
You got to tell me, what's Strong's first name?
When Calissa Brown first did the Firehouse scene, she got the acting bug too. So she started auditioning for other projects, and not soon after we gave her the demo reel from Ghostbustin 911, she landed the lead in some independent film that they were shooting, I think in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So she called us to tell us, thank you for the opportunity. I got this new job working on this film, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to be moving to Tennessee. But if there's anything you guys needed of my character, I'll be more than happy to fly back to the Twin Cities and shoot.
Which is
So we
above and beyond.
We called her on that, and we needed some more Sarah Charleston scenes, so we reserved that realty office for a full night. And we picked Calissa up from the airport, and I had her bring like 6 changes of clothes so we could do 6 different scenes, 6 different days.
We were coming up with more ideas just to use her in more of the show.
Right, right. Because she started becoming a favorite with the fans. We were getting a lot of people asking, who's that Sarah Charleston?
Yeah.
Oh, she is pretty.
Yeah, she there's more to come from her still too. I don't think we used everything from that office shot. Oh, there is the girls' night
The girls
one.
going out.
That's
Yep.
coming up soon.
And this was a very funny scene to shoot. We did about 20 takes because just the nature of it. Jim laying half naked with a bottle of booze between his legs.
This is our friend
None of us
Nick
could keep
and-
a straight face whenever we walk in on this scene. And his girlfriend in this shot, that's
It's an actress that
that Ryan had met.
right.
Get dressed.
We just wanted a floozy on Jim's bed,
Yeah.
you know. And they're covered with like Christmas lights and beer boxes. God knows what happened in that room last night. But And this is
And
Nick's
once
apartment.
Again, once
and
again, see this bottle of booze? He's really drinking that.
that's yep.
Where's the suit? Where's your suit?
Put your suit on.
No.
Let's go.
That's water. Yeah, water. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, right here when he
Potato
puts on his
based water.
suit, he actually stumbles. I think he was acting drunk, and he
No.
shoved Kenny.
This is like take 12. He
Right.
was drunk at this point.
And
So
he
literally
stumbles into
fell
him.
over.
And that loud bang, Kenny actually
Knocked
ran
the doors off
into
of the closet.
his closet door. And that's a real look on Kenny's face. He actually looks up to go, holy crap, what just happened? Did I break his door?
Do you really want to?
But they still kept it in character, at least. And
Well, we need you. Come on.
that was the take I had to use. We broke his door. We got to use that.
Oh, yeah.
Chip.
Okay, come on.
Come on. Come on. Where'd he go? Jim, get over here.
Where to go?
He's
Nobody can
naked
keep
underneath
track of
that.
Jim. Yeah, buck naked under the coveralls there, the flight suit.
Come on. Jim, I know we've had our differences over the years, but
That's the boat that one guy actually stores in that
every
firehouse.
Yeah, we were going to use that for
me off.
ecto-containment
Never
boat.
come to work because you're drunk or you're passed out or something. You know what? I don't care if you're the mayor's nephew. You're fired. Jim, get the out of my face. You're
You know what? Actually, I just realized there's a fourth level to that firehouse. I'm not sure if we mentioned. There's the garage and the outside of the actual firehouse that we use. There's your basement, which is this, the containment area. There's Eagle Realty,
And then
and
Ryan's basement.
okay, then 5 because the Minneapolis in Operation Firehouse we used for sliding down the pole.
Ah, wow.
And we also got shots in an upcoming episode of the upstairs of the sleeping quarters and the guys sliding downstairs. So we got both floors.
Right, so 5 locations.
That firehouse,
Twin Cities Ghostbusters.
the Twin Cities Ghostbuster Firehouse, is huge and spans about like a 5-city area, apparently.
Oh, the local boys. Let them take
And now here's the introduction to Ernie Hudson's scene.
Now, I have to preface this by saying we weren't expecting to put Ernie Hudson in our show.
Right.
So when we came up with this idea, we literally came up with this on the fly. What can we shoot at the location that Ernie is at so that he doesn't have to go out of his way? We could just shoot wherever he's at. We had to come up with a story, so we just made this up. There's a Ghostbusters convention in town, and they run into Dr. Winston Zeddemore, and
Now a doctor after the video game.
yeah, well, we had Doctor before the video game. Anyway, so there he is in the background.
And this Sheraton Hotel, we were lucky enough Ernie was coming for a horror movie convention in town called Crypticon. And so we met him and got a chance to talk to him. And once again, we followed our mantra, everything's worth a shot, nothing hurts, never hurts to ask. And we just asked Ernie if he would be nice enough to do this for us, and he said yeah.
Well, kind of.
There's more of a story behind it too.
Yeah,
that,
you have to watch the latest video blog of Ernie Hudson to get the full story. But
Right.
he
That's
was one
Video
heck
Blog
of a-
9. Check out Video Blog 9 and you'll hear the backstory.
He's one heck of a nice guy.
Yep.
And we were having some problems with this shoot. Once again, we couldn't block off an area, so we had to deal with people walking by.
Right. We had to wait
And
for the elevators
The
to come down.
elevator
too.
was not being a friend to us. So there was times where he was standing there all by himself for 10 minutes with the camera guy while we're trying to get back to the first floor.
Right.
Finally giving us some more traps.
We'd actually get in the elevator. The elevator would take us to like floor 12 or something. We'd have to like hit the button to go back down, going, I hope Ernie's still down there when we get down. So we could do another take.
A few things up first and then
Wait,
get some attention.
guys. What? I think that was Dr. Winston.
Then the seasoned veteran here was the only one that recognizes him, you know, because he's been in the company for so long. He knows the founders,
Yeah, what would he
or he knows what they look like at least.
Yeah. It'd be a dream come true if we could get him or another Ghostbuster to make an appearance in the show.
We tried for Dan Aykroyd.
Yep, we asked Dan Aykroyd.
Busy
once
guy.
again. Never hurts to ask.
Right.
And he said, sorry, I'm really busy.
He signed the car. We were able to get him a copy, a DVD copy of episodes 1
through 4.
through 4.
But he did mention he loves our show.
That's true, right?
He says he loves our concept.
He was familiar with the car. He'd seen it on the internet, he said, and he liked the show.
Well, that
Enjoyed
was
it.
episode 4. Stay tuned for episode 5.
Right.